So this is probably the second or third time that my settings changed while doing YouTube videos. And for those that are returning viewers, this is probably a weird shift given the last time you saw me was a couple months ago. I have moved out of my parents' house. I have moved out of my home city, and I am now somewhere else entirely. And going through this process has taught me a lot of things. One of those things being particularly in the space of design. That being the design of my own space. See, when you move out of your parents' house and into your own apartment or home of your own, it is now your space. It is to do with whatever you'd like to do with it. And the thing with having your own space is that the way that you decorate it, the way you make it look, is this outward expression of you. So naturally, if your space looks really bad, if it looks terrible, it has a lot to say about you as a person. Now, for those of you who have not noticed, I am a man, and men don't exactly have a great reputation when it comes to their interior design skills. You just gotta get yourself on the internet and get looking up what a man's apartment typically looks like, and the first results are never great. But here's the thing, is that I got a degree in industrial design. And now the reason that I moved out of my parents' house into another city is because I got a job in design. So it would be a little problematic for me as the designer to have a poorly designed space regardless of my gender. So I have a lot of heavy lifting to do here for the entirety of men. So there will be a apartment tour coming very soon. But for the time being, I thought that I would share with my fellow dudes 3 things that I think are heavily overlooked when it comes to interior design that you guys should definitely pay attention to, and please, for the love of God, apply it to your space. One of the things that I think is mostly overlooked by pretty much everyone, that's extremely important to not just interior design, but design in general, especially for things like spatial design or architecture, are our number 1 point. Lighting. Light determines a lot of different things. It determines the way that a color pops, the way that a color looks, and the way that shadows are cast on certain materials and certain forms. What people don't have enough of are ambient lights. Yeah, you can just use the ceiling light all you want, I suppose. It's fine and it gets the job done. It lights up your space, it covers up pretty much the entirety of the room pretty well. That's what it's for. But it's not necessarily for anything else. It's not mood lighting whatsoever. It just does its job and that's it. As you can see, I have 2 lamps, one on the nightstands. I also have that one right there in that corner. This is just my bedroom. The living room has a whole other set of lamps going on. None of them are harsher, like bright whites or even like daylight colored whites. Like you'll see a lot of ceiling lights that are like that because again, their whole purpose is just light up the room. That's it. These are all warmer bulbs. They don't light up the entire room in their entirety, and you can see even in the background, there's still shadows going, because that's the point. It's supposed to feel warm, comfortable. It's not supposed to feel harsh and just to the point. It's just supposed to feel mellow. It offers a bit more ambiance, more mood, a little bit more relaxation in certain spaces. This is my bedroom. It's where I sleep. I want it to be comfortable. I want it to feel warm and inviting. Same should apply for all of your rooms as well. I have the same similar type of lighting going on in the living room. Why? That's where you want to relax. That's what the room is for. It's chill. That's the kind of lighting you'd like to have. Apply more mood lighting. The way the shadows are bouncing off the wall, the way the shadows are showing on the floor, all of that's going to affect just how your space feels overall. It's going to give an extra layer of depth to your overall interior design choices. Now, the second point are accents. If you look at a color palette, there's usually more than one color, more than 2 colors. That's how palettes work. But what I've noticed in a lot of modern interior design, usually they'll just stick to 1 or 2 colors, which is fine. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. And some people also prefer when it's monochromatic. That's a little extreme and you might be a little crazy, but you know, to each their own. Usually you have the ceiling, the trim, whatever, that's usually white. Then you'll have the wall color be whatever it is, perhaps say a tan. So now that you have the tan and the white, we'll say, I'm only bringing those up because those are some of the more popular colors that people usually have. I say this also as someone who worked in paint. I worked at a paint store. I dealt with people all the time. Brown and tan is still very, very much a very popular choice. Please, for the love of God, y'all, Start choosing different colors. I made the same 3 colors almost every day for 2 years. I still remember some of those orders to a T. I remember those colors, their numbers, their names, because of how much I made them. Choose a green, choose a red, be different, choose a purple, something else besides beige. For the love of God, I was getting exhausted making accessible beige from Sherwin-Williams every single day.
No. Wait.
So you have your tan walls, you have your white ceiling. Let's say you go for dark brown furniture, wood accents. Cool. You have 3 different colors, 2 of them being related to each other, being the tan and the dark brown. Now, although you do have 3 different colors, you have fairly similar tones. So choose an accent, go somewhere else entirely. Usually in interior design palettes, designers are going to include something like a blue, a green, a red, some color to give more life to the space. Usually you'll find that in the decorations, paintings on the wall, picture frames, throw pillows, small little satellite or accessory chairs, whatever it be. Throw in some accents. Accent colors are vital to giving more life to your space. I have a lot of wood tones everywhere, but I also have different accents. Not really much here in the bedroom. That will probably change as I keep doing videos. There will be some shift in the background. But my living room, for example, which you guys will see in the walkthrough, the apartment tour, I have more colors going on there. You guys will see it then. So until then, subscribe, stay tuned. And thirdly, and which kind of goes along with accents, is materials. Look, if you want to feel like you're in a log cabin and you're just doing wood everywhere, by all means, I guess. But if you do want to spice it up, try to mix in some different materials, because that also kind of applies to accents. It applies contrast. You guys can't see it, but I have my dresser over here. I painted it. It is now a very flat, dark brown, almost damn near a black. It's an off black, really. The handles, however, are very much a brushed metal, a very rough brushed metal, brass colored. Having the contrast of the satin paint and the shiny brushed metal look is impeccable. It gives something to the dresser for it to pop. It draws your attention. Apply that to other parts of your space. Maybe if you find a table that looks really nice, but the whole thing is made of wood, see if there's an option that looks similar, but it has some metal parts to it. That bit of contrast just gives an extra layer of depth to your space and makes it feel a little bit more alive. And as an addition to both, in a way, materials and mostly accents, is get some plants. They don't have to be real, just get some plants, I don't know. Or if you don't like plants and if you think they're weird, then get some other kind of statuette or something. Remember, your space is you at the end of the day. It's what you enjoy, it's what you like. And if your space just has a mattress on the floor with a TV standing on some buckets, well, it says a lot about you. Now, of course, I'm also not here to judge, because furniture is expensive. Trust me, I'm well aware of how much it costs to move into your own place. I'm living it. But it is doable on a budget. You just gotta know how to look. Used buying sites are your friend. So keep these 3 points in mind, and you might just have an apartment or a house that is worth showing off. Of course, unless your taste sucks, in which case, just hire the interior designer, man. Just drop the cash. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, follow me on all my socials. I'm gonna be linking all of those down in the description. Feels weird to be doing this again, especially since, you know, I said that I'd be doing it full time, according to some of my last videos. But, you know, I didn't exactly expect to find a job. So here we are. I now have a job, but I still like doing this. So I'm still gonna be doing this. As an addition to the end of these videos though, I also want to include a Bible verse. If you're uncomfortable with it or don't want to listen to it, that's perfectly fine and you're free to leave. Thank you for being around and I hope to see you again soon. But I'd like to add this tradition to the end of my videos. Today is from Matthew chapter 7 verses 7 through 8, and it reads, "Ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks, the door will be opened." God bless everyone, and I hope that wherever you guys are, whenever you guys are watching today's video, you have a great, wonderful day. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.